Hello, guys. All right, so it's a little late. I'm coming to you a little raggedy, but this is something that is super duper on my heart, and it's been on my heart all freaking day, and it's been busy with the hustle bustle of everything, and so it's late now, and I was gonna try and go to bed, and I was like, you know what? Nope. I really need to say this. Somebody needs to hear this. So, I'm coming to you a little bit of a mess, but here we are. If you don't know me or if you're new here, my name's Amanda Trombley. I am a mental health and spiritual madness coach. And today I kind of just want to talk to you guys about the holidays and how some of y'all might not be as happy as the world is requiring you to be right now. So it's the holiday season. It's moving from Halloween into festive Thanksgiving, from festive Thanksgiving to the hustle, bustle, and joy of Christmas, to the exciting and transforming feelings of the new year. Oh, excuse me, I have hiccups. And it's all exciting and it's all fun and it's all super busy and there's gifts to be bought and there's things to decorate and there's cheers to be had and parties to go to. And it is the season of love and giving and friendship and happiness and cheeriness for most of us. For some of us, this is the season where you feel it more than anything. This is the season when it gets harder for you than any other time of the year. This is the time of the year where the loneliness kicks in, where the shame kicks in, where the depression and the anxiety worsens, when your mental illness really becomes something that goes from a manageable state to an almost crisis-like state, and you're not alone. And it's not, you're not alone. It's not just you. You're not crazy for feeling this way. Statistically speaking, depression and anxiety raises over 200% during November and January. There's an increase, 200% in depression and anxiety rates. Suicides are the highest this time of year than any other time of year. And so if you're feeling this way, really out of sorts and unable to go on, or really just struggling with the day-to-day and the holiday parties aren't so cheery to you, you are not alone there, because a big percentage of our culture puts on the fake smile and goes through the motions during this time. And so I really wanted to come and just say, I feel it too. You're not alone on the standpoint of the universe, but person to person, I feel this weariness too. I feel this exhaustion too, this kind of heavier load as well. And so I want to, we can call it chemical imbalance, or we can call it the clouds, the cloudier skies, the darker skies. But personally, it is easier for me to take more responsibility over my emotions and my waves and fluctuations than blaming them on the tide. And so what we see here during this time is this wariness, this, really almost dread, and with the hustle and bustle, you see the extreme exhaustion, but it's not just the physical exhaustion, but the true emotional deprivation right now, where we're just hurting a little bit more, and we get these real feelings of shame and a sense of aloneness because it's the holidays and it's supposed to be perfect and it's supposed to be amazing and we're supposed to enjoy it. But we're not feeling it. You might not be feeling it, maybe for brief moments, but it's hard to stabilize here. And so as you feel more alone and more isolated, more shame is packing on that you're different, that you're not like the other people around, that you're feeling crappy for feeling crappy, that you wish you could be like the cheers and the joy and all the goodness, and it's just not happening. And as we're experiencing this, especially in this time of year, that syndrome of feeling like a burden to others and having to fake it really kicks in, which just puts on this deeper sense of shame, this deeper need to control, and this really shitty feeling of I have to fix myself. I have to be like the majority. And that really just adds more crap to the pain, to the shame, that intensifies the feelings of worthlessness, which is exactly the opposite of what you are trying to do. We're trying to feel better. You're trying to do what it takes to be a part of and to be joyful during this time. But the more we feed ourselves with that this is shitty and we have to change it, the more we're diving into this pain and sorrow within ourselves. And so really what I want to say just quickly is to bring this to you guys. I just want to say a few things here. And the first thing is really to just come as you are, come broken, come upset, come weary, come exhausted emotionally and physically, and share about it, be open about it. Come towards this group, come towards our group, come towards me, share what is going on, and allow your pain to no longer burden you, to no longer feel as if you are a burden. So first and foremost, I just want to say, be open about this. Do not be hiding it away. Do not be sitting there trying to fix it and trying to control it and feeling like you are alone. Come and be real. Come and be vulnerable. Come and say, I need a little bit of help and support right now. The second thing that I really want to say is to release that control of having to fit in, of having to do something different. And I think it's meant that this is hitting me today. This hit me today because this really moves on to what we're speaking about over the course of this next week, which is about that control and that ego and how detrimental it is to us. But for one quick, simple step, just begin to release that control, that need to fix yourself, that need to have to change what is going on inside. And the third thing that I want to say is to faithfully do these next couple things that I'm going to share with you guys. And I'm going to get into at the end a little bit of why this is so important and why, for me personally, why I'm feeling it right now and why it's important to do this faithfully. But I just want you to take a couple notes, 3 quick pointers here on ways to really, we're not trying to get into the holiday spirit. This is not a video to say, hey, you're feeling shitty, here's how to be like everybody else and get into the holiday spirit. That's not what I'm saying. This is a quick video to sympathize, to empathize with you, that you're not alone and that we do feel this, and to also encourage you to take a few small action steps to move you towards feeling better, not feeling this holiday spirit and this glow and this, amazingness, right? Not fitting in or keeping up with the Kardashians that have decorated the house next door and have everything set to go, but a few small tips to move you forward, and so that in this time of the hustle and bustle and joy of the season, you can be a part of in your soul. You can feel a part of here. You can feel whole, and you're not holding on to this depression and angst that has you down at this time. And so of these things, these 3 things that I want you to faithfully come and do and partake in. The first one that I want to mention is I want you to focus over the next couple weeks on truly worshiping you. And I know that's really strange to say because, on one end we talk a lot about how ego, edges God out, and how ego is not my amigo, and how ego is, this real deterrent to personal growth. But I want you to level with me for just a minute and think about how much time and attention and love you truly give yourself on a daily basis. How much time you spend really exalting yourself. And so for the first things that in this video that I really, really want you to jot down and pay attention to is that it's time to begin worshiping you, to begin worshiping, to begin loving every piece of you, to begin getting up in the morning and looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I am enough, and I am loved, and I am amazing, and I am capable, and there is so much inside of me. To spending the extra time minutes to care for your face or your body, to begin to take those 5 minutes to work out in the day, to do those 10 squats, to begin to do the things that are physically showing your mind, body, and soul that you honor it, that you're exalting it, that you're there for it, and that you're stabilizing it, and that you're working with yourself, that you're working in unison with your mind, body, and soul rather than against it. So I really want you to take some time and journal what it means to worship yourself. Think about what that looks like. How uncomfortable does that make you feel? And how comfortable should you be with it? How comfortable, how much could loving every part of you transform your life? What could that do for your mental capacity right now? How could that transcend your mental state? And so, again, number 1, worship yourself, because it is my belief that a lot of people say, let me say this first, a lot of people say that by worshiping God, by finding God, they found themselves. And I'm not against that, and I agree 100% with that. But I know, as a fellow struggler with depression and anxiety and mental illness, how sometimes it really feels like you're left out in the dark, and that universal creature, or that God that you're supposed to love and trust and is supposed to rescue you from bondage, sometimes feels like he or she missed the mark. And so sometimes it's a really scary place to start, to begin worshiping and honoring something that you feel has let you down so much. And so in the hustle and bustle of the season, I want you to begin by worshiping you, because it is my belief that as you learn yourself, you will learn your God. You will, not that you are God, but that you will learn your God. You will find that God that serves you. Because I believe that there's a light inside. There is such a magical force inside of you. And it's not just me, it's inside of you too. There's a soul and a spirit that pours out truth. This soul, this spirit of yours that is deep inside, is the most magical center of you. It's beautiful and it's pure and it is true perfection. And it is in this light, it is in worshiping and getting to know and finding this light, this spirit, this soul deep within you, that you can be brought to more, that you can begin to take place in your recovery, that you can begin to find the more that you need, that truly fills you up, that truly pulls you out of that hole of desperation. So for the first thing on the things to faithfully do this season, outside of wrapping the gifts and going to the Christmas parties and slapping on that big smile, is to faithfully worship yourself. Because it is in doing this that you tap into that light, that inner truth, that spirit, that part of your soul that is so blessed and sacred and magical that no pain exists. Because this soul, this thing inside of you is truth. It is the truth that darkness cannot overcome. It is the light that brings joy to your soul, to others. The second thing that I want to come here and I want to say to you guys, to faithfully do this holiday season is to give thanks. The power of gratitude, the power of appreciation is truly without parallel. We cannot stay in a state of I'm trying to think of the opposite, but we cannot stay in this state of need or even want if we are in a state of gratitude. And we cannot stay in this scarcity mindset if we are attached to the abundance. And when I'm saying this, I'm not just talking about money. Especially in this season, money's a really, really big thing, right? And it might be the reason that got you so bogged down in the first place. But I'm not talking about money in this moment. The scarcity mindset is a mindset that wraps around your whole life. It's part of the problem you're having. It's part of your I can'ts. It's part of your excuses. It's part of your desperation. It's part of your lack mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. This is all attached to a scarcity mindset, to an idea or a feeling of not having enough, not being enough, not worth enough, not acquiring enough, not far along enough. These are all parts of the scarcity mindset. And if we are focused on gratitude, if we are focused on abundance, our brain cannot live in two places at once. We can't. We cannot live in two mindsets at once. We can pivot from one mindset to the next very rapidly. Trust me, I'm queen of moving from one to the next. But with practice and patience, we get a lot better. We intuitively know when it's time to pivot. We intuitively understand how to pivot, and we get to see the progression within ourselves of staying longer in the abundant mindset and less time in the scarcity mindset. So the second thing that I want to remind you to faithfully do this season is to give thanks, to pour your heart and soul out each morning, noon, or night, and to giving thanks for all you have. Because the reality is that we are a rich community. And it doesn't matter what car you're driving or house you live in. And it doesn't matter how shitty, how crappy you're feeling inside. We are a rich community. We have so much to be grateful for, even when we are surrounded by lack. And the more that we are diving into our lack mindset, the more that we are feeling less than and not enough, the more that we are wrapped around this pain. But the more we focus on pivoting to abundance, to gratitude, to appreciation for the richness that we do have, the more we become wrapped in the gratitude and the abundance and the pleasure and the joy that we are able to hold on to. And so faithfully this season, give thanks no matter what is on that list. Make it, write it. What is the song? He's making his list, he's checking it twice. Make your list. Check it twice. Not a list of what you desire, not a list of what you want, but a list of what you have, a list of what you are so grateful to be able to have in this time, in this day, in this age, in this very moment. And it gets to be as big or as small, and there's no right or wrong order. It gets to be what's so uniquely personal to you. My gratitude list from just the other day was my socks. That was the second or third thing that was on it, was my socks. Because it's cold in the morning and I have hardwood floors, and I am really glad that I have socks to not have to walk on my cold floors. But I have to tell you that writing that down put serious joy, serious gratitude, and it allowed me, the socks, right, that are connected to the leg, that this Christmas works, that this Christmas isn't in a hospital, that this Christmas I'm home, in the house that I own, with the family that I care for, eating food that I purchased, and it goes on and on. So whatever's on your list, make your list, check it twice, and faithfully stay grateful, faithfully give thanks this season, because we have so much. Despite how we are feeling, we have so much to be grateful for. The last piece that I want to urge you to faithfully do this season is to serve others. And it's the reason that I'm coming here and speaking with you guys. And it's the reason for so much more. But as we serve others, we separate from our selfishness. And just as we can't be in a lack and an abundance mindset at the same time, just how that split energy doesn't work, we cannot be selfless and selfish at the same time. If we are serving others, we are separating ourselves from our selfish nature. We are getting outside of our mind, body, and thought. We are separating from our need and our desire and our lack, and we are giving to another person. And so I encourage you to spread your talent this season. Spread your talent. Get on and speak. Create the group. Cook the food. Give a smile. Share a gift. Serve another person. Comment on that post you don't want to. Stay an extra 15 minutes. Do what it takes to serve others. And it's such a very simple complex, but it is so revolutionary true. Even if we are only feeling good in that moment, it is in that moment that we found a little peace. And so faithfully this season, serve another, serve others, spread your talent with the world. Stop being afraid, stop being selfish, because that's truly what it is. And give back. We have so much to give thanks for. Give a little bit of that back. Share a little bit of that good news with the person that needs it. lend a hand, serve another in the way you know best, and find yourself feeling whole in the meantime. And as you get attached to this, you get attached to so much more. Your gratitude increases, your desires decrease. That light inside you that we talked about at first burns a little brighter. So faithfully, the third thing that I want to remind you to do this season is to serve others. And I want to carry it just a little bit more than just this season, because there's an importance here that is the revolutionary truth that I talk about all the time, and that is that these small, consistent actions that make no difference today build up over a period of time and massively and dramatically shift our lives in a way we never thought possible. And it is when we lose these small steps, or when we don't have them in the first place, that we begin to see these things take a toll. It is then that we begin to see our emotional state get a little too overwhelming to bear. And this is my truth too. The revolutionary truth is one that has absolutely transformed my life. But as it is so true to work for the positive for you, to transform your life to a positive light, it is so true on the opposite end. And I've witnessed it myself this season. With my kids starting school, the first year that they're both in school, a totally new schedule with taking Heather all the way up to her school and back, to helping out at my son's school, to a whole new schedule with life and my husband and everything different. My revolutionary truth actions have gotten difficult to do. They've gone by the wayside just because life has changed. And it is in this shift of routine, in this change in routine, that things begin to get unmanageable. And when you add on a holiday season to celebrate, it gets even harder to deal with. And then as we're struggling to do the gratitude list in the morning, or to do that hour of self-care because you have to get up and take the kids to school or this or that, surely enough, that worshiping myself goes out the window. That study of a deeper and stronger light within begins to diminish. That time to give back to others and to give thanks for what I have begins to be the last priority on the list. And all of a sudden, I find myself going, I am one of those weary. I am one of those ones who is sniffling to hold it together with sweeping the pine needles off the ground, or doing the 10th load of dishes, or trying to find the time to schedule in shopping. Because it is with the revolutionary truth that we find the maintenance steps that we need to be able to balance, to be able to feel stable, to be able to be, to exist, to feel, to be free through all times of the year. And so with this busy season, like many of you, I got derailed too. When I said you're not alone, I mean it. Today was a day that 3 separate times I had to sit back and say, Amanda, what is it you need to focus on? You need to take a step back. You need to find some truths within yourself that are powerful and mighty. You need to give thanks to the powers that be. You need to praise that above you, and you need to serve another. You need to get out of your selfish pit, because I too get distracted. Just as the revolutionary truth works for us, it can also work against us in the most most manifesting way possible. And I'm not much for manifesting. But if there's one thing that I truly believe is the key to manifesting anything, it's adapting this philosophy of the revolutionary truth for you. And so, me personally, I feel it, and I'm walking right alongside you, doing these three things faithfully with you, to transform this holiday season, to feel comfortable and free, to be and breathe once again. You are not alone on this journey. And if this is a holiday season where you feel weary and depressed and your anxiety is higher and you're dreading that holiday party, know that there are a few manageable things to immediately position yourself away from selfishness, away from dread, and towards a little bit more hope and light within you and within your light. All right, that's all I have to say. I just really quickly want to make it clear that this is not just a plan for the season. I would love for you to faithfully adapt this during this season. But know that if you harness these three simple things, tying it into a philosophy of the revolutionary truth, you will see the impact, and you will be able to come back next year and share that it was a hell of a lot easier to get up, get going, and get in the spirit than it was this year. That's all I have for you.